Manage your time like a top real estate agent. Are you actually building a real estate business, or are you just staying busy enough to feel safe?
Welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things real estate, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success. I am your co-host, Curtis Haddock, alongside my brilliant co-hosts, Brooke Massey and Casey Tuter. Amazing day. Amazing to have you guys. What an awesome feeling this is.
You know, it's also
Thanks for
amazing.
having us.
It's also amazing to have you, Curtis.
Oh,
I
thank
feel
you.
like
Thank you.
the love needs to be returned.
Thank you. You know,
I agree.
it's okay.
I agree. But Brooke, to your point,
used to
I
it.
see so many agents, including myself, a lot of times. At least I ask myself this question: am I wasting my time here, or am I actually being productive?
Yeah.
And sometimes I honestly don't know the answer, but I'll say if you're not sure, if you're on the fence,
You're probably wasting
go
your
prospect.
Yeah.
Go do that instead, because
point.
there are a lot of important things that need to be done, like growing and building your brand. Those things take a lot of time, and it never ends. You're always doing that. But
Yeah.
prospecting is number one, so always do that first at least, and then you can kind of do whatever after that. But what we're trying to prevent here is from agents doing nothing but spending the time on the wrong things, because all millionaires have the same. All millionaires and people that are broke have one thing in common. Do you know what that is?
Consistency?
No, 24 hours in a day.
Oh, that's
It's
a good
how
one.
they use the time.
Yeah.
It comes down to choice. What do you choose to do with it? And I think that we all can get stuck in a
Rut.
rut, or stuck like doing things that's not actually
Just avoiding.
moving the needle forward. It's not the money making activities, and we sometimes we'll do blitzes and things like that. But I think a lot of people think about the stuff that they want to build their brand and the administrative stuff, and it's easier to do that because they feel like they're busy. But when you do it at the expense of the prospecting, that's when it becomes an issue or a problem. Because you can build your brand, you can do the administrative stuff, but if you skip your prospecting that day, then
You're toast.
you failed. You
Yeah.
failed that day. And I think
Nobody wants to
we
fail.
all do it, and it's just how often are you doing it?
Yeah,
You know?
that's right. If you guys like what you're hearing so far, please like, subscribe, and comment. But furthermore, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you take away from this episode. And ultimately, if you guys want to connect with us, just reach out. We're happy to talk. What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to start with telling the people how their calendar is actually costing them money,
Ooh.
and they probably don't even realize it.
Maybe they should get rid of it?
Nope, that's not the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just throw it in the trash. You don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't work for me.
Well, it's costing them money because they had to buy it. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding. Yeah. No, I
Zing.
think a lot of people probably use an electronic calendar these days, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a paper calendar. It doesn't matter if it's electronic calendar. It's probably costing you money, and you don't even realize it. We're going to get into some of the things that top agents do and how they manage their calendar and what they do to create appointments on that calendar. We're going to talk about essentially, using your calendar to force production. And to me, I basically would call that time blocking, right? And then finally, we're going to talk about how if you properly control your time and use it the right way, you're going to be able to do the things that you always have dreamt about.
Like moving mountains.
If that's what you dreamt about with your time, I think what a lot of people dream about with their time is doing what they want to do, spending more time with their family, less time on work. I hear a lot of people say, man, I just want to be able to work when I want to work, when I choose to work. And then, you get to do whatever I want with the rest of my time. That's going to be what we end with, because that's the ultimate goal, but nobody is actually using their time in a way that's going to even get them close to that goal.
Sure.
Yep.
And so let's start with how calendar is costing people money.
Okay.
And I think most people don't realize that it's costing them money because they don't know how to utilize time. Let's give some examples. I think that the biggest time waste for people is being reactionary to things.
Yes. Yes.
Right? And I think we're all guilty of it. I know I'm guilty of it. And being aware of it, though, has helped me to be better about how I use my time, about how I respond to things. Because if you can, if you get stuck, you could get stuck in your email all day long.
Yeah.
Because if you get an email, it's like, oh, let me respond to that and get it knocked out. And then all of a sudden,
you have 20 more emails.
You got and then you haven't actually done your time blocking.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
I need to check my email.
I do that with texting because I feel like
texting is bad too.
I mean, email's just as bad, but man, like I have so many texts, all
It's a
kinds
practice.
of texts.
It's a practice, right? Like it's
It
something that you have to
is.
continue to get better at, and you have to I see the text message. Well, just leave it unread.
Yes.
And then when you're done, then you can go back to your unreads.
And at this point, I never and I'm one of those. Don't look at my phone and you see 300 unread texts. I get people operate. My wife operates that way, and it drives me nuts.
Well, you're gonna lose money that way. 'Cause
Oh
you're gonna miss
yeah,
something.
but to your point, I always have it unread, and so it's I always at least have 10 or 12 things unread to help remind me essentially.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. You can respond as they come in. Or how many times have you been in a situation where you couldn't respond, because you were in appointments all day, and then you get to your phone and you have 50, 60 text messages, and then you look and and then you're able to get through all of them pretty quickly, 20, 25 minutes. Sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
those
Sometimes
text messages
30 out
handle-
of 33 were you guys.
Yeah, it
Oh,
could be
totally.
it could be a
I
group.
always go find the big groups and click those first.
Yeah, and if the group kind of handled itself, and you can just be
move
like,
on.
okay, cool, thanks,
Yeah.
or, you don't. But if you weren't in the meeting, then you might have participated in the group discussion, and so that's where when we'll talk about time blocking, that's where time blocking can come in, because you really should have a time of day where you are responding to those things all at once, because it's more efficient. You can get it done faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing can be true, not just email and text being reactionary to those things, but people who call you and need you for something.
But what happens if a lead comes in and they need a question and you don't answer it right away?
Oh man, I guess you lost the business.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes,
no, I
but
mean,
usually
most
not.
of the time not though. And in all reality, you should be prepared. You should be prepared for that phone call anyway. So if a lead has a question, I set the expectation of, hey, I want you to text me your question. If I don't answer the phone, I need you to leave me a message or send me a text so that I know what it is that you need. And then sometimes I'll see the text and I'll be like, oh, this needs to be responded to quickly.
Yeah.
I can't wait until
And you can
time
respond to it because it's going to take 2 seconds, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, or something.
But until you knew that, it could have been an hour conversation.
Yeah.
That you cannot do right now.
Yeah, and you can't just pick up and then be stuck in an hour-long conversation with somebody, right? Especially if you're wanting to manage your time quickly and not be reactionary. But I think that's the biggest problem that people do, especially in leadership, is be reactionary with their time.
Yeah, you got to focus on what's in front of you, and I mean, and I'm just as guilty because I'm not a multi. There's no such thing as multitasking until they created the computer. But I try to get stuff done while I'm doing something else. Yeah, that's what y'all tell yourselves, and that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate you as a species. But it's like, if you can just be in this, especially with your kids, if you're spending time with them, that's why I like going to the pool a lot, because I can't be on my phone when my toddler's in the pool. He'll drown.
Yeah.
So I have to pay attention to him.
Right. I hope
And I can't have my phone in the water.
Yeah.
That would create more problems if it gets wet. So
You can get one of those
it's
cases.
up on the counter, usually charging.
Yeah.
And I'm in the pool playing with my kids, throwing them in the water,
I think we need that though as entrepreneurs to get away, because it is, no matter how much you time block and stuff like that, there's still this reactionary portion of it that's hard to kind of get away from. And I think
Yeah.
it's important to take those times and those moments. And I mean, that's what we'll talk about, the
I had
dream at the end.
I have a
but-
random thought. So we've been talking about like our ideal customer too, and we should probably make an episode on this. But you know, who I'm going after is basically me, myself. I'm attracting people like me.
Yeah.
A dad who has kids, who works hard,
Yeah.
likes opportunity, and what's cool about that is I know my clients that are buying a house with me right now. They're also hanging out with their kids and in the pool. So you can tell a big difference from those people and then the single people who are living by themselves, and you can tell from their text they're literally expecting you to answer immediately. Like
Sure.
you can just feel it. Like, what else would you be doing right now, Curtis?
I know. Yeah.
Like, can you not answer me? You know.
Yeah.
So, but it's like it just
Perspective. They don't
and it
understand,
helps
yeah.
like if you guys figure out who your ideal customer is, because you'll resonate. Anyway, that was just kind of a random thought that you made me think of.
Well, that's it. No, it's a great point, because it's such a mindset. Like, people get into this, oh, I got to sell everything, which, yes, I do that. If you want to be successful, I mean, sell everybody, right? But at the same time, building a business, like, I don't know, like, I don't want to work with those people.
Differentiate yourself.
I
Be
had
able
two-
to say no.
I had two sign calls this week, and we did them on Power Hour, and both of them, I was just like, ugh, I don't think we're calling them back. It's just, they're mean, they're demanding. They need to see a house right now. They fired their other agent, and they've looked at 100 houses.
Do what my uncle
You are
says.
not my client.
Do what my uncle says. Send them to the competition.
Yeah, yeah.
Make them busy dealing with all their crap.
And then the
Yeah.
other lady, she just knew everything about everything, and her negotiation power is going to be better because she's not going to have a buyer's agent and all this stuff and asking all these questions. So we tried to educate her, like, hey, that's not really right. And she pretty much told us we were wrong. We were like, okay.
I would have just started
Bye.
asking her how, like, I would have started like making her negotiate right then and there. Well, how's your negotiation? So you have really good negotiation skills.
She got mad, and that's when we stopped the conversation. So we were.
Well, when she got mad, I would have been like, is that how you're going to be when you are negotiating with a buyer? Because if you are, you're going to lose the buyer. And I know you don't believe me, and you're going to get more angry at that. But I'm not. I'm just trying to. This is the situation you're going to be in. You know,
Man,
either
Curtis,
way, that's
every
irrelevant.
time I do that, we get a 1-star review.
Then maybe you're doing something right.
Maybe it's because you're a man and how you say it is just different. And if I come off and say, I don't
There's
know.
definitely something to it, because I've never
Totally.
had a 1-star review.
But you
Me
also
either.
haven't done the things that Brooke has done.
That's
I'm just
true.
kidding, I'm just
That's
kidding.
well, yeah.
Everyone's.
obviously not.
I have to be clear that every 1-star review I've ever gotten, they've never said my name, and it's never been a client of mine.
There's been one person that said your name because you were like, oh man, they finally said you got
Did
your
they?
name. Uh-huh.
Dang
and
it.
then
She's had so many she doesn't remember.
but
Curtis.
most of them, they're all. It's always people that are never our client, and that's what's frustrating about our business.
It's
is
totally.
that we are the epicenter of the entire transaction, and we can't control what other people are saying to the customer. And so if they start throwing us under the bus, then they're gonna. If they buy into it, then it's our fault.
I have this.
you know?
I have this conversation, this argument with my wife all the time, and I hope none of my clients hear this, because I love all my clients. By the way, I argue that our jobs are the exact same, and she's like, "Please."
Oh,
'Cause-
her raising the kids?
Yeah, because she's raising kids all day. I go, you don't think I'm doing the same thing?
Adult
you think,
daycare.
You think I don't tell my clients that stove is hot? You know what they go do? They go touch the damn stove, and then they look at me and they go, that was hot. Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
And I go, I did. In fact, I told you 3 times. You know, and it's just funny. Like, we're literally both babysitting.
Well,
Yeah.
People.
We're the customers too sometimes, and you were being the customer yesterday when we were talking to
I was.
our brand. We have somebody who's going to help us with brand development, and he was trying to tell Casey certain things that they're going to do, and Casey was like, "Well, I don't like this, and we're not going to do this." And
Well, he's asking me what I liked.
Well, and then he says, "Well, listen, if we get to the point where we disagree, we'll argue with you once, and then you're the customer."
But then we told them, no, we're not. I mean, I said, yes, we are, but we're going to listen to you ultimately. If we're going to pay you,
Right.
we're going to listen.
Well, because
But
we
you know what he
we
said?
get it all the time, and we understand. Like, you know what? You're the pro at this. You're probably
Dude,
right.
I was leaving, and I go, I think he called me old because he said, he told me that because basically what I'm going for is like sleek and modern.
Yes.
And simple.
Yeah.
And he said, you're the ideal customer 10 years ago. And I didn't know what he meant by that. So I was just leaving and I was like, I think he called me old.
Yeah, now he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. No, I'm actually, I actually looked at that and said, well, maybe I am, and maybe I should just trust what they do.
I mean, I think that stuff is constantly changing, but no matter what you do, your brand needs to be timeless.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the goal.
That's what I'm trying to prevent.
Because fads come and go.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go with
and
the
all
fad.
those logos look the same, and that's what I don't want.
Yeah. Okay. But back to the time the podcast topic, because I think we got on a tangent there.
We did.
I think the second biggest thing that people do that are a huge mistake with their time is they think that being busy is being productive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally.
Right. So number one, I think that we're reactionary. Number two is that we try to stay busy and we think that we're actually doing something.
And those
Yeah.
are the two biggest things. Because
Well,
yeah.
our industry literally is like reactionary squirrels, and then what was the second part? The other one.
Being
busy. Like
Yeah.
there's
Well,
so
I
much
think
stuff to
There's
do.
so many
I think
things
people
to do.
base the being busy thing off of fear a little bit too, because it's all built around like
I'm
rejection.
working hard.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't want rejection.
Yeah.
So if I go build my brand or go do this and be busy
Then
or go
people are
put
gonna
signs
know.
out and do this and that, I don't have to get an objection from somebody.
But
And that's
there's
opposite.
There's another fear thing in that too. I see a lot of people who will find something that works, but then they'll see somebody else that's really successful doing something else, and then they think that they need to do that too. Mm-hmm. And so now they're going to go try and figure out this whole new thing when what they were doing was working, and they just didn't develop it like far enough to take enough
They didn't give it
risks
enough time.
to grow it and turn it into a system. I think that people do that all the time. And as things change and as things progress and you can and different technologies come out and you can be successful with it, it's like, oh, you're going to get pulled in all these different directions. But if what you have is working, develop and grow that and use the technology and systems to make that better
And easier or
Yeah.
something, or make you more efficient.
I promise you, there are, there's hundreds of ways to make money in real estate. If you try to make money all 100 ways, then you will not make money. But if you find even just one way that you get really good at and you perfect that, then you can become a millionaire in real estate.
That's a great segue
Yeah.
to our second point. But
Well,
go ahead.
it's interesting too. Like people take things too superficial because like Ricky Crew talks about, like, would you rather have 100 listings or 100 buyers? Well, 100 listings. Well, people will go, they get mad at him. They're like, well, but buyers are important too. And it's like, but he's not saying
Yeah.
don't work with
I know,
buyers.
I
Right.
know, yeah.
But my point there is like, they'll take that one thing and they'll ignore all the buyers out there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yes.
and they'll do that with any other
They
activity.
just
And it's
don't
like,
they're not understanding. Yeah.
there's a concept there,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, just because you perfect one thing doesn't mean that you won't get business from other things. So, it's a segue into the second thing.
Yeah, top agents know exactly what creates appointments. So if you want more listings, you have to, or even more buyers, you have to know exactly what activities actually move the numbers and get really good at it.
and do those activities. And I think that we can combine the second and third point because time blocking is going to be the key to your calendar. And so many people are so bad at it because
Totally.
they are busy and they're reactionary. Great example, and I know you guys have heard this. I love this example because it shows how you can control your calendar and make it the way you want it to be and do the things that you want to do. So you have a customer that it reaches out to you, and they are pre-qualified up to $400,000. They're ready to write an offer. Okay, and they say, "Hey, can you meet tomorrow at 1 p.m.?" But tomorrow you already have a a customer that's listing their $1 million house
Mm-hmm.
at 1 p.m. So are you going to say, oh, are you going to jump at that $400,000 pre-qualified buyer that's ready? They want to write an offer, and buy and just say and call the $1 million buyer and say, well, we're going to reschedule or maybe miss out on it? Or are you going to tell that person who's trying to look at houses tomorrow at 1 o'clock, are you going to tell them that you already have an appointment and find another time for them?
For me, it depends. If I've already, I know, and I'll confirm your statement. But for me, if I already know that seller is available all day long and they said anytime works, I might call them and say, hey, could I do 2 instead of 1? But if they don't answer, I'm probably not going to leave a message, and then I'm going to go ahead and move that buyer, that $400,000 buyer, to a different time.
So I think that's inefficient.
Well, hold on. Let me confirm what you're saying.
Inefficient.
When I was a barber, I taught people to never, ever move your appointments because it's an inconvenience to the client.
Yeah.
Well, and it's inefficient.
They may not get back with you either.
Well, now you're making calls and you're telling this person to wait, and then you're trying to confirm with this person.
Yeah, you're spending more time doing it.
And now you're spending all this time trying to figure it out when all you had to do is tell that first person, I actually already have a commitment at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And can you do 2 o'clock? Can you do 4 o'clock? Can you do the next day, right? And then if that client says no, 1 o'clock, I'm going to be out of town the next day.
Yeah.
We're
getting to the airport at 2.
I'm only here at that time. It's either we meet or we can't meet. Okay.
So then I have my assistant.
Now I'm going to maybe go through those steps.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I know that my seller is cool and like most likely is going to be okay with moving it, like why take all that extra time to move all these appointments when I can first just schedule at a different time with that caller,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And my point of this is that it goes beyond even that, because you brought up the point of, okay, well, if I know that my seller can move their day, then that's what I'm going to do, right? Well, okay, well, let's put a different example in place. Let's say that you are time blocking and you prospect from 9 to 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you are in control of that. Okay?
Yeah.
So now somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I want to look at a house at 9 o'clock tomorrow." I think 9.9 out of 10 agents are going to not do their prospecting time, and they're going to show that buyer, and I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, they're not only going to they're not going to reschedule that prospecting time. They're just not going to do it. That's like guaranteed.
Yeah, because I think that I made money today. Well, I don't need to prospect. I deserve a day off. I made my money today.
Our job is not writing contracts and going to closing.
You have the control to reschedule that, and you do. That's why that's why you're going to just go ahead and show it. But what I think people will need to do, in fact, I highly encourage people to do this, is tell them that you have a prior obligation at 9 o'clock, and then only reschedule your prospecting time if that same example happens to where that buyer can only do 9 o'clock, and they confirm we're not going to be able to meet unless we do. That's the only scenario where you let the client dictate your schedule. And the reason why I believe that is if you want to get out of the roller coaster ride, I promise you that is how you do it, and you cannot give that time up. And I cannot stress that enough to agents out there. And even the successful ones, they're all on this roller coaster feast. You hear it all the time: feast or famine, good months, bad months. I got nothing going on this month. I got 4 closings next month. Like, the reason that happens is because we are reactionary, we get busy, and we don't time block.
And you convince yourself that, like you just said, like you don't need to do the prospecting because you made money. Like, the amount of mind games that we have to play with ourselves every day is insane. And it's like, but that's where growth comes from too, right? And like when you're working a 9 to 5, you don't have to do any of that. Even when I was a barber, I didn't have to. Even though I was self-employed, I never kept a calendar because I didn't have to, because my appointments were scheduled on our. Well, I mean, it was on a calendar,
right?
But it was at work.
Yeah.
So
but all you do is
outside of
that.
when I was there, And we had people booking appointments and moving appointments. So I wasn't managing the calendar either.
Yeah.
So outside of that, like I didn't, until I got into real estate, and I always laugh like whenever people come in and they're like, I don't need a calendar. And I'm like, I was right there with you, buddy.
I was that person.
You know, but it's like, that's why people don't make it in real estate, is because of all the stuff that you have to tell yourself, convince yourself, coach yourself, figure out what's important. You have to make sacrifices. It's a lot to do.
I remember making fun of people in college that always had their little planner and had everything new and everything was done. And I was like, I don't need that. I always pride myself on being good, and because I have a really weird, almost photogenic memory.
Photographic.
Yeah, whatever. It could be photogenic too. No. But no, when I got into real estate, I had that same mindset. And then I was like, holy cow, there is a lot of reactionary type stuff in here. There's no way I can remember all this.
I honor my calendar pretty good.
Oh, I'm so anal.
I still miss stuff.
I'm so anal about my calendar. And we were at a conference, Curtis and I were, and one of the ladies up there, she's a top producing team lead. And she was like, sending me a calendar invite is my love language. And I was like, you're my people. And I didn't know I had another love language.
Yeah. I was at Home Depot last week buying some blinds for a client and that I installed. And,
wow.
Yep. And
I'd want you as my agent.
Thanks. So anyway, I'm there, but as I'm leaving, I'm in the truck. I'm leaving the parking lot, and Claire's like, "Can you get a gallon of paint while you're there?" And I was about to be like, "No, like I'm on my way to whatever." And I was like, "You know what? I really don't want to come back later." So I turned around.
Yes.
I get in line, and then I'm checking out. Well, that text message of "Can you get paint?" threw me off.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
Oh, yep.
And
You reacted.
I reacted, and at 2:32, I'm checking out, and Jeff Servin calls me and goes, "We meeting or what, bro?"
Oh my gosh.
I was like, and then I look at my calendar like, oh yeah, give me 3 minutes and I'll be on Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh my
goodness.
I knew we were meeting.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Like I forgot about the rest of my day because of the dang paint.
No,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That totally makes
That
sense.
happens.
And it happens, but my point is that happens even when you're
Using a calendar.
using it.
Well, and it's just also, I think it's a great example because people need to realize that's life. Like, if you're going to get into real estate, you have got to change personally.
Well,
I think.
and there's this balance too. Like I don't always want to be on my phone either.
That is
true. I already
Yes.
am. But like I'm at the paint counter, like I'm talking to the paint sales. Like we're like, I'm doing my thing with people.
Yes.
Not just sitting on my phone.
Yeah.
If
And I
you-
lost track of time is what happened.
if you had time blocked when you look at your phone, then you never would have gone back. You never would have seen the text to go get the paint. Now
Sure.
that would have been I would have done the same thing. I think anybody listening would have been like, yeah, I'm here. Let's go get. I don't want to make a trip back here to get paint.
Yeah.
Right. I think 10 out of 10 people would have gone in there and got paint.
Now
Totally.
I wouldn't have changed my decision because I made the wifey happy.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the ultimate goal, right? That's why I
Right.
wake up every day.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were diligent about like time blocking when you look at your phone, and then knowing your schedule of when you're supposed to do that, then you never would have seen that till later, and then you still could have made wifey happy, and then you could have scheduled a time to go back to get paint, and then you wouldn't have forgotten about that appointment. It all worked itself out.
That's
And,
also why that video I told you I didn't share my screen yesterday, because she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm on my way home. Because I got to get this house listed and I have to make this video because I'm tired of explaining agents on how to list a video or list their product.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to save time in the future. Well, anyways, she was like, I have to leave at 5:15, which she didn't have to. She wanted to go help her friend do something.
Sure.
And she doesn't like to disappoint her friends, but she has no problem disappointing me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so like part of all that was I didn't hit share my screen when I made the video.
Oh.
Because I was like hooking up my cables and my mic. I was getting it all done
Trying
real
to
quick,
hurry.
trying to get it done in
It was
time.
probably his best work ever.
It was very efficient and quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good video.
Well, now you got practice.
So now I have to schedule, and dude, I'm booked till Wednesday, till next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I have to help one of our agents get a listing online today. I don't know when I'm going to do it.
yeah, that's awful.
So it's like It was like it's just managing distractions and again
Gut-wrenching.
using your calendar is good, but yeah, just
I want to ask you guys this: like, if someone's thinking about trying to actually like build out a system for time blocking specifically, like, what are like maybe the top 3 things that they should time block no matter what?
family,
Okay.
Yep.
prospecting,
Okay.
checking email.
Follow up, probably.
Yeah, follow like
At least prospecting and follow up, I think.
and family
Yeah.
family and then within family, I could maybe that's your personal time.
My
'Cause
wife,
I'll say whenever I first started and you were talking to me about time blocking, I'm like, man, and I started to time block like every single hour of my day. And then I'm like, I'm just not this human.
yeah,
you know, at the same
that's not
time.
what time blocking
It's
is.
not, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, and I think, and that's why I wanted to clarify to our viewers of like what is time blocking, because like I time block those 3 things, and then I do check my email 3 times a day. Text messages I probably should do, but other than that, it's like it just depends on what I have going on. I think scheduling out like videos, or I've been trying to do that more. Like if there's like a project that I want to do or something I want to build out, I try to find time in my day, and then I'll block out like an hour and just work on that for an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause, I mean, if there's stuff that I have to do, I can put it aside, but then the moment it gets on my calendar, I use that time to get it done.
yeah,
And so, I think that time blocking is figuring out what those super important activities are, and you get it on your calendar, and you don't ever miss it for anything. Like I'll be at my doctor's appointment, and they'll say, okay, they want to see you in 6 months from now, and they'll say, how does 9 o'clock work on this day?
Nope.
Well, I'm like, well, I already know I can't do 9
Yeah.
o'clock
In 6 months.
6 months
Yeah.
from now. Because I have that time dedicated, blocked off. What other times do you have?
Yep.
And so, again, I think a lot of people would be like, oh, but it's a doctor's appointment. It's easy. Or I have a closing. It's easy to.
Well, it gets me out of prospecting, doesn't it?
Get you out of prospecting. I think a lot of people will do that and justify it. And that's fine. If you want to justify it, that's fine. But then don't
wonder why
complain.
you're slow.
Don't
Well,
wonder why you're
Yeah.
on a roller coaster
I
ride.
know
you
when
have
I'm
two
slow,
parts
why
of-
I'm slow.
There's 2 parts of the day. Like I always say, like work on your business in the morning, which is prospecting and doing things like that, catching up with people, whatever. But then afternoon, you should be in your business. It should be whatever you did in the morning. If you called and got a bunch of appointments, well, you should be going to appointments that afternoon, and you guys should never ever have to chase money, essentially, if you're doing it that way. And if you do that every day, it's just all about consistency. You time block, no matter what you do, even if you're reactionary, you're going to win clients and you're going to lose clients. And I think so many people get so worried about losing clients because they want to make money and they want to chase this dream. But part of getting to that dream is you have to not sell those houses or not win those clients over. And it's always like you're either learning or making money. Did you learn something from it, or did you just learn that's exactly not the client that you want to work with,
And I would go as far as saying, like, if you think that you'd have a hard time like doing what Brooke said is like doing your prospecting in the morning and appointments and stuff in the afternoon, as long as you are time blocking those activities, then that's what matters. I know some people who thrive prospecting in the afternoon, and if that's you, then
Then
block
do it.
the afternoon, and then even better, time block the times where you'll set an appointment for. So then whenever you are setting the appointment with somebody, you already know, like, hey, I do my appointments on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at this time. And so you're going to try to get the people you're on the phone with to meet during those times. Now, is that going to work every time? No, but it'll work a lot more than you think.
And
you
if
have a lot
every
more
week, every week
control.
all those appointments are filled, then you're running a business.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I have a son now, and it's so important to me because we work long hours, right? And so it's so important to me to have that time, not only with him, but also my spouse. And so I was so nervous to start this, but man, I'll tell you, it's really changed my life, and it's like really, really good. But at 5:30, my phone goes on Do Not Disturb until 7:45, and I get a little message that I send out to everybody, whether I think it's good or bad or whatever. It hasn't hurt me. If anything, it's actually helped me in my business because people, they care. They like knowing that they're helping a family. But now I'm like in the morning from like 8:30 to 10ish, then it's prospecting time. And then after that, from 11 to 2, I'm at appointments. And then from 2 to 5:30, I'm usually just cleaning up the day, organizing myself, maybe talking to some clients last minute. There's always like, for whatever reason, you always have to talk to people at 5, like when they get off work,
Oh, God,
you know?
yes.
And then I shut my phone off, and then I double check, and man, I feel like I've been more organized, more efficient. I feel like I've gotten more business, honestly, because of it.
What you said, it's like all the single people that don't have kids.
Yeah.
They always call me at 6:30 at night.
Yeah.
It's like, what did you do all day? Like you literally waited till 6:30. Like it's just funny, but again, they don't get it. They don't know that I'm feeding kids or putting them down to bed.
Yeah.
You think about that, and you know, everyone's dream is different. But if you do these things and you execute them well, then the dream is yours for the taking.
Well, and it's like real estate freedom only comes after the discipline. So it's like you have to find the discipline, and then you have to be confident and be like, "This is what I'm going to do."
I think people do it backwards.
They do it backwards.
They want the dream now, and they try to
just work hard,
and they try to live the dream, but they don't actually do the work that it takes to get to that.
Real estate is the perfect opportunity. This is a great way to end this, by the way.
Ooh.
Is the perfect opportunity to learn what life is actually all about in opportunity and success. I
definitely agree.
Because you could go do this in landscaping too, but landscaping costs money to get started. And I'm not saying that, I mean, running any successful business will teach you these things, but real estate, it's easy to get the license. It's cheap to get the license, and then you're off to the races.
Yep.
So if you can figure out how to be successful and how to run a business and basically how to run yourself, then you can go do anything.
Totally. I
110
million% believe that.
If you can't figure this out, then as the young people say, you're cooked.
Yeah. Well, and it's just because it's just you get into real estate, yes, the dream, but if you want to live the dream, it's not just about how hard you work. It's how you change as a human. How do you take care of people? So
the people that are in real estate doing what we do, living the dream, meaning they kind of get to do what they want to do with their time and spend more time with their family and things like that. They are like, they get to take days off. They're the people who don't take days off and work really hard and put systems in place.
Even on the days off, you still end up doing something, you know.
I try not to work on Sundays, but there's always just something, a phone call or text.
Well, I try not
something.
to like set like recruiting appointments or show. I try not. I mean, this is controversial. I don't show houses on the weekends.
Yeah, I mean,
I do, but it's not my first go-to. I'm always going to push. Do you have a lunch break? Are you off on Thursdays? And you'll be surprised. A lot of people have a day off during the week. A dentist I'm working with right now doesn't work on Thursdays and Fridays.
Yeah.
Why would I wait till 5:00 or the weekends to show?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's use this time. He wants to be home in the evening too.
Yeah.
You know, so
it's just crazy too, because you think everybody works 9 to 5, especially if you come from a 9 to 5 and coming to this. But when you start really getting into it, you'd be surprised how many people like
and it's so
don't
much
really
more,
work 9 to 5. They work from home.
Well,
it's flexible.
more flexible now because of technology. People work from home. They, as long
maybe
as
it's
they're
just
getting their job
evolved.
done,
But
I love going and showing a house on their lunch break, and they're like, "I like it."
I was
cool.
a COVID
I'll put
baby.
I'll put the offer together.
Was it like that pre-COVID? I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, sometimes, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely evolved. I mean, there's definitely more people that have that flexibility.
Oh yeah, even with like TikTok and marketing, and that's changed. So,
well, all right. Well, hey, if you guys liked what we talked about today, and you guys want to partner with us, and you want to talk to us and see what that looks like, let us know, and we'll pick up the phone and we'll have a conversation with you.
And a little teaser. It's going to be several months out, but soon you're going to get to take a free quiz to figure out what your personality type is, to figure out like what is the best activities for you to do to build a successful real estate business. Coming soon. We're excited. We're excited for you guys.
I'm excited too. I'm excited for you guys. All right. Well, we're signing off. I am Casey Tuter. This is Curtis Haddock and Brooke Massey.